All right, LD. In the break, producer Sharon was telling about his $7 gas station T-shirts that are some of the best. If someone said to you, you could get a gas station T-shirts for $7, they're the best T-shirts you ever wore, what would you say to that?
They're telling the truth because I used to live at those gas stations getting
Oh,
those shirts in college. You remember the tall
okay.
tee, the tall tee era? That's where we got our shirts from, the gas station.
I think it must be a Florida thing because I never heard of shopping at the gas
It's
station.
probably
And
a
then,
South thing.
yeah, because Rand turned producer Sharon onto him because Rand wears them. Rand is admittedly
Oh yeah,
cheap, but
that was
apparently
big.
these
That was
T-shirts are the
big.
thing. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm
Oh
gonna have to
yeah,
look into
it's a
that.
big thing in Florida. Yeah.
All right. Also a big thing in Florida. Ruben Bain Jr. 6'3", 275. And producer Sharon is a U guy. Rand sometimes isn't a big U guy because he's a Florida guy. You're going to give us an honest opinion as a UCF guy. Where are you on Ruben
Yeah.
Bain Jr.? Because he's a pretty controversial player in terms of where people have him stacked. He's number 3 on my list, and that might be a little rich for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, he would probably be 6 or 7 on my list, to be honest.
Okay.
Now again, mentality wise, I love a physical player, right? Everything you want mentality wise, Ruben Bain Jr. is. Like he plays the game the right way as far as being physical, like physical at the point of attack, plays with power, doesn't get moved. You see his body right there. Like he's just well put together. He's hard to move off the line of scrimmage. My biggest question is, where does he play at the next level?
Right.
Like he is a versatile piece. They do rush him inside, they rush him outside. But as far as pass rushing on the outside, I don't see the foot speed there that he'll have enough of to get on the edge and actually win and command a tackle to not be able to drive him by the quarterback. I saw it multiple times in the Louisville game. He just gets run by the quarterback because he flips his hip, but he doesn't have the foot speed to get by. And he's truly a power rusher. Now, again, I wondered would Jared Verse and that power translate? It did. I would say Jared Verse is a lot more twitchier than Ruben Bain Jr. But again, if you want somebody that is going to set the tone, Ruben
Mm-hmm.
Bain Jr. is your guy. But I just think the skill set of some of these other guys, I would rank them a little bit higher than Ruben Bain Jr.
It's funny you mentioned Jared Verse because in my notes when I watched him back in May, I wrote he lines up everywhere, 3 technique all the way out to 9 technique. So where do we play him, which is what you mentioned. But also he felt like a mashup of Ed Oliver and then Jared Verse with the power. I do think Jared Verse is
Correct.
a little twitchier, but there were concerns about Jared Verse coming out, whether he was quote unquote twitchy enough.
There
And you
were.
just talked about that, and he probably should have been the first edge rusher taken. That's a conversation for another time. And
Goodness.
speak to this because one of the other notes I made as I read through them as we talk about Ruben Bain Jr. I said he had one of the best inside counters that I had seen through the summer scouting, but that to me says maybe you're not comfortable trying to beat guys around the edge with your foot speed because it's not there.
And you constantly see that, right? He always takes the inside move when he's rushing on
Yeah.
the outside. Now, again, it's a nice counter move, but you got to think people self-scout that as well. And they're like, well, if I'm off the tackle, I said inside. Like, does he have the foot speed to beat me on the edge? Especially because I know I'll be able to recover against him because he doesn't have that foot speed. So again, he could get better. We talked about it earlier, the process of what happens once you finish the season. You still have spring workouts where you work and hone in on your craft. You have the spring ball to really hone in and work on your craft. You have the summer workouts, and then you have fall camp. So there could be some growth. Wouldn't be surprised too if he maybe even slimmed down a little bit just to work on that because he plays with so much strength and power. I don't think he'll lose much in regards to rushing inside or even playing inside against the run because he's that imposing and strong against the point of attack when it comes to his strength.
And it feels like, and you and I having this conversation a couple times now about Ruben Payne Jr. He brings to mind Javon Solomon from a few years ago, who's now with the Bills, and David Walker from
Hmm.
Central Arkansas, who I think just got banged up in training camp. But both those
Yeah,
guys went to the Senior Bowl, had good weeks. Those are guys you want in your locker room, but they're not going to be Jared Verse first round picks. So it could be a
correct.
situation where Bain Jr., who I think is a top 50 guy, ends up closer to being a late day 2, early day 3 guy right now, unless something changes based on the
Correct.
body type and what we've seen from players similar body types to previously. Does that make sense?
Yeah, without a doubt. Or does he have a Jermaine Johnson like jump? Because going into
Right.
his last year, a lot of people had him as a third through fifth round pick. right? And then he elevated himself because Jermaine was a power rush guy. Like people wondered, could he get on the edge? Did he have a diverse pass rush bag? And he showed it his senior year. So that's why I said Rueben Bain Jr. can change my thought process, but I have to see it on tape first.
Yeah, fair enough. And right now, he's number 3 on my list. I like him a little bit more than some other people, and that's okay. I mean, it's still July, so we have plenty of time to figure
Yeah,
this
for
thing
sure.
out.